Hey everybody, Miss Dietrich here. Jimmy and his family are on their way to visit some family friends who live 780 miles away from them. So if we map this out and write the 780 miles that they have to go, that's probably a good way to just wrap our brains around how to do this. Based on the route they choose, they expect to complete their trip in 3 days. So here's day 1, day 2, and day 3. The distances and average speeds for the first 2 days driven are shown below. So they give you this. I put that here. 4 hours at an average speed of 60 miles per hour. And on the second day, 6 hours at an average speed of 65 miles per hour. If the average speed on the third day is 60 miles per hour, so let's write that down, 60 miles per hour, how many more hours will it take for them to reach their family friend's home? Show your work. All right, so first of all, probably it'd be a good idea if we're traveling for 4 hours and we're going 60 miles per hour, how would we get how many miles they went? Wouldn't we have to multiply 4 times 60 to get that? And wouldn't that be 240 miles that they traveled on day 1? Let's write that in there. All right, so the math behind that is 60 times 4 would be something you would show in your workspace. So it's 4. All right, to get this, if we're going for 6 hours and we're going 65 miles in 1 hour, that means we would multiply 65 times 6 to get how far they went in the 6 hours that they traveled on day 2. And if we do that, we're going to get 390 miles. Now remember, we have to go, let me erase this because that's kind of in the way. We have to go 780 miles. So how many miles do we have to go to get to our destination? That might be a good number to have. So let's add these two numbers. We need 240 plus 390 to get how far they've gone. And if we add that up, we get 630 that they've traveled so far. So here to here, that's 630 miles. Now we kind of need this value right here. How many miles is that? To get that, we should subtract this and this. 780 minus 630. And when we subtract that, we end up getting 150. So we have to go 150 miles. And we have to do that traveling 60 miles per hour. So we need to figure out how many hours would that be. Well, I think we need to do the last computation we need to do to answer this question is we need to figure out how many equal groups of 60 are there in 150, and that will give us the answer. So the only thing left you have to do is to finish this up, and it's probably not going to work out evenly, so go ahead and add an annex 0, and then you'll put whatever that number is that you get here, you're going to put on the answer space. Now another way you could think of this is you could say to yourself, we're going 60 times 4 for day 1 of the trip, plus the second part of the trip we're going 65 times 5, or I'm sorry, 6 hours, plus 60 miles for some unknown number of hours, we'll just put H. And all that has to equal 700, and let's see, I forget, 780 miles. So if you want to solve this equation, that's another way to do it. So if we solve this, this is going to be 240 plus, and then we already figured out this is 390 plus 60H equals 780. So if we combine these two things, which we did here, we got 630 when we added these two things together. 630 plus 60H equals 780. All right, so I'm not going to have time to finish the rest of this, but the opposite, the next thing you would do is you would subtract 630 from both sides of the equation and finish up.